Okay, thank you. Thank you. This is the third session this month. And for the past for the past two sessions, we've been focusing on the 5 Tibetan rites, the exercise that boosts our immune system, that strengthens our immune system, that works on our organs to make us healthier and younger. So I wanted to start this session today, as I would love to do subsequently, with just 5 minutes to talk about a particular aspect of this wellness. So today we're going to look at cravings, overeating, and binge eating. How we can use our breath, how we can use the exercises that we do to sort of control some of these not so good behaviors. So today, let's focus on cravings, overeating, and binge eating, and how we can use breath work to overcome this. Stress increases cortisol levels, and cortisol levels also increase hunger. It's sort of a defense mechanism when we are so stressed that our beautiful bodies help to balance. So it makes us hungry. It makes us feel like eating so that we can have more food in the very good intention of fighting, using this food to fight whatever is making our bodies disbalanced. So this is why when we are stressed, when we are anxious, we tend to eat more than usual. This is not a very good habit. It can lead to a number of health problems, as we know, including obesity, heart problems, and yeah, so many other problems. So we can actually use breathing. We can use breath work to overcome this sort of compulsive attitudes. So one of the exercises that we can do is Nadi Shodhana. I'm sure we remember Nadi Shodhana, this one of placing our hands and breathing out. And we keep doing that maybe for 5 to 10 minutes. So whenever you feel like eating, it's good to just take some time and center yourself and do a bit of that exercise. So Nadi Shodhana is very good in balancing our energy. So it balances the yin and yang. So if we have all these cravings and these disbalances in our bodies, this Nadi Shodhana will sort of work on our brain because it all comes from our nervous system, from the brain, to balance that. We can also use Bastrika. Bastrika is very good in activating the nervous system. And then when you use Bastrika, you can calm it down now with slow breath, with your slow breath. Sometimes you can do even the Kriya, the long, the medium, and short. So if you take maybe 10 minutes and focus on this sort of breath work, eventually your system is going to get balanced and you won't feel that urge. I'm speaking from my own experience. January and February, when I was in India, when we were going through this 8 to 10 hours of yoga practice every day, especially breath work in the morning, I would actually forget to eat. I wouldn't even feel like eating. Of course, we had breakfast, which was sort of like routine in the morning. It was very small, not this kind of heavy food. But just having a small bit of just small breakfast in the morning, I didn't feel like eating for the whole day. But even before that, when I just started doing the breathing, the breath work that we used to doing, the rate of eating dropped. And one interesting thing also is that I didn't lose any weight. I didn't lose much weight. When I came back from India, it wasn't like I did, I lost so much. But I actually reduced the quantity of food that I ate by so many times. So this is from my own experience, the fact, the testimony that you can actually stay for very long. It's just sometimes our conditioning that will make us feel like we're eating, we want to eat. It's not really because our bodies need all the food that we eat. One other experience that I had also like a few years back to prove that, I went on a 21 days fasting. That was crazy. And I ate no food, just water. And I was aiming for 40 days. I did 21 because I had to prepare for my flight to the United States that will take 21 days to get back to normal eating. When you break the fast, such a long fast, you need to take as much time to do it. It's not something I would love to do anymore. I was a Christian at that time, and I had all this thing of really wanting to be close to God, and all this excitement. And so it was a good experience, but it was also a confirmation that our bodies really do not need all the food that we eat. If you can just disconnect from your thoughts for a while, if you stop all this compulsive thinking, then at that point you will see how your rate of eating will reduce. So this morning we are going to do a bit more breath work than we've been doing. And if you, for the past few days or the past few months, you've been experiencing compulsive eating, just observe and keep practicing and see how this will drop. So before we get into the practice, I wanted to know if you have any questions or any experience you want to share on this topic.
I look forward to it.
I think the other thing about eating that I often am guilty of is eating quickly. When you're busy and you're on the go, you don't necessarily, you're not really mindful. So it's almost like you're eating on autopilot, and before you know it, you've had your sandwich or your breakfast or whatever, and not really have enjoyed it. You're just like, wow, where did it go? So I think also being able to be present while you're eating and actually enjoying it. I think that is also, it not only satiates you, but I think it gives you it's pleasurable when you actually, eating is wonderful, so being able to take the time to enjoy is.
And that is a very, very good point. That is true. That is excellent. And thanks for raising that. When you eat mindfully, when you eat, everything you do, if you are present doing it, especially food, you will see that your relationship with food will change. Even the way you enjoy the food and the way the food responds to your body will change. So mindful eating is something very important. And sometimes we just rush, and we know sometimes that we are eating, we have this sort of binge eating or compulsive eating when we start eating a lot of sweet things, because when that part of our mind is seeking to overeat, you know this when you're eating so many things, fatty things and sugary things, then you know that you are heading towards the wrong direction. Most of the time, we really don't need that. So, but mindful eating is really, really perfect. You just be present with, even feel yourself chewing every bit of the food and swallowing it so lovely. And that reminds me also about my experience even after the fast. Everything, the taste of food changed completely. When I bit an apple, it was like, wow, it didn't feel like I ever ate an apple before. And because my organs sort of rejuvenated themselves. So that is one thing about overeating, because you lose the taste of food as well. You lose that enjoyment of your food. Okay, thank you so much. We are going to start with just some simple breath work to prepare ourselves. Before the warm-up, I just want us to close our eyes and just take a couple of deep breaths. breathe in deeply and breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in, breathe out slowly. Keep breathing, and you can take 10 rounds. Just breathe in 10 times slowly and deeply with your eyes closed. So breathe in. Just make sure that you fill your stomach with air. As you breathe out, you just empty all the air slowly and gently. Focusing on your breath. Letting go of everything that is lingering in our minds, every thought, feelings, and analysis of this conversation that we had. Just letting go all that too. As much as possible, just try to connect with your breath. Slowing down your breath. Okay. So, we're going to start with warm-up. Can you hear me? Is it good? Okay. So let's start with warm-up.
We can only see your chest up.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be fine.
I'm just going to mute us for the echo.
Okay. So let's start with rotating our neck, our head, releasing all the stress and tension. And we're going to rotate 15 times clockwise and 15 times anti-clockwise, engaging our breath. So instead of bring down our neck, breathe in, breathe out. 15 times. Just relaxing the face muscles. You can continue in the anti-clockwise direction. Stop. Now let's relax our shoulders, rotating 15 times clockwise and 15 times anti-clockwise, engaging our breath. Breathe in. Stop. We shall now move. We can just take the dog position, the dog pose. And then what we do is we breathe in, lifting our hands, and breathe out, bringing down our hands. And then each time you breathe in, your pelvis sort of moves out, and when you breathe in, your pelvis goes backward, and when you breathe out, that moves up. So it goes like so. Relaxes your back and your pelvis. Times. From here, we can move to the downward dog position. Downward dog. Relaxing the knees, the thighs, ankles, and the joints of our toes, the joints of the feet, the ankle, the knees, the waist, releasing all the tensions. Don't forget to engage your breath. Please stop, release the practice. Knees bent, and looking forward. And then bring your left leg forward in between your hands. Bring the other leg. Gently stand, gently rising and breathing. Relaxing the shoulders. Times. Clockwise. issue. That's it. So now we do this, and then we twist to the sides like. Start breathing. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Go down to sitting position. So we'll start with Nadi Shodhana. This way. So the first round we breathe in 5 times, counting 5, and then when you breathe out, you count 10. So the breathing, you breathe in counting 5, and then breathe out counting 10. So we'll do this 10 times, and then in the second round, we breathe in, counting 5, we hold, counting 5, and then we release, counting 10. We do this 8 times. So let's start 10 times. So what you can do, it's always good to close your eyes. And if you can place this hand here, if you are sort of a meditator, you can do this. It's called the Jnana Mudra, just this way, and then you place it on your thighs. Next cycle, you breathe in 5, you hold for 5, and you release for 10. heaviness in any part of your body, just try to drop it. Just relax that part of your body. When you finish, you can just keep your eyes closed, focusing on the breath and feeling the effects of the practice. Soften any area of your body where you feel like resistance, where it manifests itself in the form of pain. Sometimes, like just a lump, you feel like a blockage. Just soften that area and breathe into that area gently and slowly. So we're going to move to Vastrika 1. This one. Use our hands. And we do, we're going to do 40 with this. Hold. Out through the mouth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Palms up. Palms facing up. The thighs, just somewhere off, just around the belly, the lower back, something like that. And so when you move your hands, this part of your elbow sort of touches the back part of your lungs, right? So it's just like you're squeezing. I'll do it slowly. It seems like when I do it fast, it's, it doesn't really respond the way that I want it to. So if I move like, so this is how it's going. So, but we do it a bit faster. We're 40. Breathe in, hold, breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in, Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Explore the effects of the practice. Eyes closed. Can you feel any sensations or tensions in your body? Just relax that area and just breathe softly towards that area. And just do shoulders, just do the fist just above the shoulder area, above the shoulders. Yes, we are also going to do 40 of this. So the difference with this one is that you breathe in and out. The difference between this one and all the other Bhastricas is that with this one you go. Okay, so we can start now. And it's not much about the force. It's more about the intention in your breath, like the force in the breath. So. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out. Try to keep your spine straight. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out. Going to do 40 again. So we'll do 3 rounds of this. This is the second round. Let's go. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last second. Let's go. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Stay in this position with your eyes closed and feel the effects of the practice. It's always important to feel your body after every exercise, because what really matters is the response of your body to that activity. Those small movements around your brain, your neck area, sometimes also in your spinal cord, and feel like some movements. It's part of the healing. Nothing to worry about. Try to breathe slowly. Sometimes you could feel as if your head is expanding. That's also fine. Okay. We shall now move to the 5 Tibetan rites, and we are going to do 9 each. And remember the first, let me just demonstrate so that we can do that in order. The first one is raising your hands up, just shoulder level, looking towards the tip of your right hand, and rotating towards your right hand, lifting in that direction 9 times. The second one is sitting with your legs straight. And then lying down. Right. And so your legs move up, breathing in. And your neck also moves up, not your shoulders, your neck, just your neck. And the third one is kneeling. And the hands on the palms, yes. Breathe in. And out. So each time you breathe out, your chin touches the chest. So you breathe in. And then the fourth one is sitting in this position. Legs straight. And then this, and make sure that your hands are like placed down and straight. Then you lift yourself up, moving backwards. Breathing in. Out. Okay. And then the technique one. We're in downward dog position. You breathe in cobra and out dog, downward dog. So when you breathe, just stretch yourself, looking right up with the bottom of you. Just make sure you look at all the time. Okay. So that was a demonstration. We'll do that. Each time I practice this with you, it's like I'm sort of stretching because I do like 21 every morning before coming. So and then I have to demonstrate and then do that. Yeah, but that's beautiful. So let's start now. Stretching your arms, looking towards the fingers tip to the right, and then rotating towards the right edge. Breathing in. You don't have to be fast. And just stop and just choose one point and focus on that point. Whatever you do, just keep your eyes straight and focused on that point. This is concentration. And just look, or close your eyes. You might feel as if that object or that point is moving, that's fine. Don't move your eyes, just focus straight. No stuff. And do this for a minute or two if you can. Then let's go to the second line of breathing in and lifting your legs to angle 90 and your leg up. Breathing out. Next, breathing. Hands on your lower back. Breathing in, looking, twisting back. Out, straight out your chest. Fourth. Breathing in, rising. Load. Okay. So the last Straight. Breathe in, cobra. Breathe out, downward dog. Now, we can sit. Stand back to sitting position and feel the effects of the practice. Breathing in slowly and out slowly. You can take your attention to your tail, just move your attention to your tailbone and bring it to your sacral, just around your sexual organs, and then move it to your solar plexus, somewhere around your spleen. Move it to your heart, to your neck, to the space between your eyes, and then to your crown, to the top of your head. Feeling the effects of the practice. Okay. Can come back to standing position. So we're going to do some tapping. This tapping exercise is, I hardly do this. This is probably the third time, but no, not the third, maybe, yeah, it's not, I don't do it many times, except when we're in the group. So this tapping helps to release fats, because we're talking today about compulsive eating and overeating and all that. And so this exercise is meant to help us to reduce people who want to lose weight. This is an excellent exercise for them. So it goes this way. You start tapping from here. It looks simple, but if you are energetic after this, you will feel like some movements around. So this way. And when you go to the back, you do this from the back. Okay, this time, scan to the lower abdomen, this way. Yeah. Start. Come to the spot. Just you use just the tips of your fingers just around your sternum, just around the heart area. And tap there. And just breathe. Sometimes you might feel like yawning. This is fine, especially when you get to this part. Feel like you can yawn. I feel like there's something inside that needs to be taken out. You just open your mouth and so back to the tummy. Make sure again. Breathe in, releasing the practice. Just close your eyes and gently feel your body as it becomes lighter. Sometimes it feels like there's something that has moved out of the body. It's a very beautiful feeling, especially if you do it consistently. We're down to sitting position and we will finish with Sudarshan Kriya. Then we have 20 long breaths, 40 medium, and 40 short. So in order for you to connect your attention, it's advisable if you like to place your hands here in the belly, you like to place your hands here on the chest, and then somewhere behind your shoulders. Just to make sure, because each time, if I want to feel, let's say my chest, if I'm not used to connecting to my chest, the best way is to place my hand here. Immediately you place your hand here, your focus drops to wherever your hand is. So that's why we use the hands. Otherwise, when I do this myself, I don't place my fingers because I know exactly where to put my attention. So let's start. Breathe in 20 long breaths. Remember, all the breathing is through your nose. You don't breathe in this. In Kriya, you don't breathe through your mouth. Relaxing your face muscles. Make sure that your spine is also straight. It's very important. finish the last round, we can just remain seated, closing your eyes and feeling the effects of the practice. Just scan your body, just moving your attention, your awareness to different parts of your body, feeling sensations or any movements, just honor it. Sometimes there are things in our body that want to express themselves, could be even an emotion or feeling or tension. And so when we suppress that, we actually we anchor it and it affects on us. So it's good to release and just relax. Whichever area feels like stretch, tension, it also be an emotion, feeling of anger. Just feel the part of your body that is connected to earth, to wherever you're sitting. Feel that connection between you and the earth. As you breathe in slowly, release whatever whatever no longer serves you through this connection. Discharge it, transmit it to the earth where it came from. Breathing in, light, and breathing out what no longer serves you down to the earth. Feeling your breath, this connection with your breath is very important. Just feel as if you're sinking into the earth. Every part of your body sort of dissolving into nothing else. And all that is left is your awareness. And do this when you feel your breath, just feel as if nothing else exists except your breath. And focus on your breath. Just place a smile of gratitude into your heart, appreciating your body for letting you go through this exercise, for letting go all physical elements in your organs, in your body, and your energy. Just place that smile of gratitude for letting them come. Feel the peace in your breath, the joy, the love, the connection to your heart. As you open your eyes gently, just bring this feeling of your presence, of gratitude into your present moment. Now, as you slowly open your eyes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Thank you. Okay. All right.
A quick one. I probably have 2 minutes left. Thank you very much. That was quite good. I liked it. One observation, I'm sure you'll be able to connect it to the yoga that I've had. I am generally a person that has a lot of phlegm. And since we started with the sessions and the breathing, and especially after the movement, it somewhat disappeared. Whatever noise I make to try to clear the phlegms, because it's now programmed in my head, because I'm so used to clearing that. What could be the relationship between the two?
You mean for flaring?
No, phlegm in the throat area.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
it wasn't coming clear. For some reason, I don't know if it's my laptop, but I find it hard.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you now. Can you say that again?
Yeah, no, I'm saying, I don't know if I can, I'm sure you can connect the two, but I'm generally been suffering from a lot of phlegm throughout, and since starting with the yoga, especially after the sessions, the physical movement, and mixing it mainly with the breathing, it seems to have disappeared. So whenever I try and clear my throat, it's because it's somehow programmed in my head that I always genuinely have to clear my throat before speaking. What could be the relationship between that and the yoga?
Sorry. Okay. I think you're already doing the right thing by observing. That is the first step. By observing yourself and the way that you are reacting. That is the first. The next step now is to modulate, to adjust yourself to the way that you want to come out. You have that power. So, but just being present and observing your behavior is already, it's massive. Because that is where sometimes we always react spontaneously. But the ability to say, wait a minute, and then you observe that this is happening, it's a big step. So the yoga exercise is also, it really helps to bring that awareness, to make you, especially if you tune to your body. Every time you do things, sometimes if my phone, for example, can ring, I'm used to just jumping onto the phone. But that is not a very good habit. Sometimes there's a text coming in and I just react. So if you feel like, did you say something is happening around your throat?
Phlegm, I always had to clear basically excess mucus around my throat.
Yes. So there is your throat has a chakra. It's an energy center, which is responsible for communication. It's responsible for expression, expressing what is within you. And so what is happening there is maybe it's being activated, or maybe there is a sort of disbalance. I'm sure Lindsay will understand this more. Yeah, but the more that you do, especially the movement, remember when I introduced, I said it works with all the chakras. So if maybe you are facing a challenge which is about your speech, then the effect is on that chakra. And so when you feel like coughing, just cough. If you feel like drinking water or something to soothe it, just do it. It's the healing happening.
I can certainly add a little bit because Thulani, I think you're saying also the mucus is less after you've done these sessions, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So
it's generally, sorry, Lindsay, it's generally now much less of an issue than it's ever been.
Yeah, I think that's also sort of a you know, your nose and throat, this whole area is kind of interlinked. So I think with the breathing exercises, it probably also helps clear things. So, and then when you combine it with the movement, you know, if you think about the up and down and all that kind of stuff, I think it's really just a balance. I can tell you, I suffered quite a lot from that sort of post-nasal drip, you know, and the one thing I did was cut back. I didn't cut it out completely, but I did cut down on having dairy, because that kind of aggravates the production of mucus. So instead of having, you know, lots, like a bowl of yogurts, I would have a little bit of yogurts and try and not have milk in my coffee, say, for example, and that helped quite a bit. But I think the reason for it improving is probably because of the clearing of the nasal passages, and all of this is all sort of interlinked. I think that's probably what's happening, which is it's a really good observation. I also struggle with blocked nose, and after doing these exercises, I mean, I can breathe so clearly. It's like, it's magic.
Thanks, Lindsay. I didn't understand the question clearly. Now I get it. Yes, that's true. But again, also the 5 Tibetan rites is very important, because, and I'm saying this because I'm hoping that you will understand the context. Because if you have occasional problems with throat sometimes, and because I know you also, sometimes it's the speech, it's about your speech, your communication, your expression. In the energetic language, it's sort of linked to that.
For sure.
Yes, and so when there is that spin, when it starts spinning the way it's supposed to spin, then you can feel a relief. But the breathing also, and especially the neck rotations, sort of reduce the tensions around your neck. And one thing, when I speak here, I'm sort of not very eloquent, because I'm not very, and I have to say this, I'm not very, it's not my comfort zone. And so you can see even my speech is affected. But if I'm somewhere else, I speak differently. And sometimes I speak, it's as if my throat is dry, even when I speak to you. You know, it's because of that, because I'm not comfortable. And so my expression is not clear. But if I'm somewhere else, you would think this is someone else, when I'm really in my comfort zone. So this is how even that throat affects your speech. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I need to dash. I've already hinted, so I'm behind. We'll catch up soon.
Thank you so much, James. That was super.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.